The early morning light fractured across the waves, painting the West Philippine Sea in hues of orange and gold. A lone Philippine Navy corvette sliced through the gentle swell, its mission presence. This was more than just a patrol, it was a statement. A new surveillance device Filipino-made represented a leap. It promised that the Philippines would no longer be sailing blind. The dawn felt like the dawn of a new capability, a new resolve. The West Philippine Sea is a lifeline, a rich basin of marine resources, a critical artery for global trade, yet its name has become synonymous with geopolitical friction. China's expansive 9-line claim casts a long shadow. It overlaps with the Philippines' EEZ. An EEZ affirmed by international law, this clash forms the heart of the dispute. Filipino fisherfolk face intimidation. Their fishing grounds are policed by foreign vessels. Chinese Coast Guard ships are a common sight. These actions are affronts to national dignity. They challenge the sovereignty the Philippines strives to protect. Each incident strengthens the resolve to find solutions. The strategic importance of this maritime space cannot be overstated. Control over these waters means influence, access to potential oil and gas reserves. For the Philippines and archipelago, its maritime domain is its lifeblood. Protecting it is paramount, a matter of national security and economic survival. The sea defines much of what it means to be Filipino. This is the stage for a modern David and Goliath story. The Philippines, with a modest military, faces a superpower. Yet it refuses to be cowed. It leverages diplomacy, strengthens alliances, seeks legal recourse. And now it turns to innovation to find asymmetric advantages. The spirit of resistance is strong. The West Philippine Sea has become a crucible, forging a stronger, more determined Filipino resolve to guard its heritage and its future. For months, whispers had circulated within defense circles. Manila was on the cusp of something new, potentially transformative for its maritime defense posture. Details were scarce, speculation was rife. The project was shrouded in a necessary cloak of secrecy. Few knew its true nature, even fewer understood its full potential. This quiet anticipation built a palpable tension. The initial announcement, when it came, was deliberately understated. A brief from the Department of National Defense spoke of a breakthrough in indigenous surveillance technology. It hinted at enhanced maritime domain awareness, but offered no specifics. This was strategic communication designed to signal capability without revealing vulnerabilities. It was a message to potential adversaries and a reassurance to the Filipino people. Then came the carefully orchestrated unveiling at the Villamor Air Base. Attended by top military officials and a select group of observers. The system codenamed Argus I during its development was finally shown, though its full capabilities were still not entirely public. The focus was on its indigenous design, advanced sensor arrays, and network-centric approach. A wave of national pride swept through those present. This was not just imported hardware, this was Filipino ingenuity, ready to serve. The immediate reactions were a mix of awe and cautious optimism. Some international observers were initially skeptical. Could a nation with limited defense research and development resources truly produce a game changer? Others, more familiar with Filipino resilience, were intrigued. They saw the potential, understood the strategic imperative. The unveiling did not end the mystery. In many ways, it deepened it. The true test would be its performance in the challenging environment of the West Philippine Sea. The world began to watch more closely. The Bantay Dagat system, or Sea Guardian, is a sophisticated network of AI-powered maritime drones. They operate in coordinated clusters, sharing data, creating a persistent, wide-area surveillance net. Its power lies in information, in transparency, stripping away deniability of coercive actions at sea, a silent, ever-watchful guardian for the Philippine archipelago. Expert eyes on the horizon, analyzing the Bantay Dagat. Dr. Lito Alcaraz, a respected maritime security analyst based in Manila, was among the first to comment. The Bantay Dagat system is a paradigm shift for the Philippines, he stated. It moves us from a reactive to a proactive posture. Its strength isn't in firepower, but in information dominance. In the gray zone, information is power. This system provides that power. It allows us to see, to understand, and to publicize. This is crucial for a nation upholding international law against a larger claimant. His words resonated with many. Professor Eleanor Vance, an expert in Indo-Pacific strategic studies from a leading Australian university, offered an international perspective. This development is significant, she noted. It demonstrates how smaller nations can leverage emerging technologies to offset traditional military imbalances. The Bantay Dagat could become a template. Other Southeast Asian nations facing similar maritime challenges will be watching closely. It could subtly recalibrate regional security dynamics, making coercive tactics riskier for any aggressor. Her analysis highlighted the broader implications. Retired Admiral Rafael de Leon, a former flag officer in command of the Philippine fleet, expressed immense pride. "Our engineers have delivered. This is Filipino innovation at its finest," he declared. "For years we've struggled with monitoring our vast waters. Bantay Dagat gives our forces a persistent eye in the sky and on the sea. It will enhance our patrol effectiveness, it will aid in search and rescue, and yes, it will be a critical tool in asserting our sovereign rights in the West Philippine Sea." Beijing's inevitable scrutiny. Beijing's initial public reaction to the Bantay Dagat was predictably muted. A foreign ministry spokesperson offered a terse statement. They emphasized China's sovereignty in the South China Sea. They called for regional peace and stability. They subtly dismissed the new Filipino system as if it were of little consequence. This is standard diplomatic practice, an attempt to project an image of unruffled confidence to downplay any perceived challenge. But beneath the calm surface, the gears of assessment were undoubtedly turning rapidly. Behind closed doors, China's intelligence services and military planners would be working overtime, tasked with a singular mission: understand Bantay Dagat. What are its true capabilities, its operational range, its vulnerabilities? Teams of analysts would dissect every piece of available information. They would deploy their own surveillance assets, trying to detect the drones, trying to understand their patterns, their signatures. The system presents a new variable in their strategic calculations, one they cannot afford to ignore. The People's Liberation Army Navy plan would consider several responses: increased air and sea patrols in areas where Bantay Dagat is suspected to operate, the development of electronic warfare capabilities to jam or spoof the drones, perhaps even efforts to capture a drone for reverse engineering. Psychologically, the presence of these unseen watchers could impact planned sailors, the feeling of being constantly observed, even in waters China claims as its own. This adds a new layer of stress, a new element of uncertainty to their operations. Shifting tides regional security in a new light. The unveiling of the Bantay Dagat system sends ripples far beyond Philippine shores. For other Southeast Asian nations, particularly those with their own maritime disputes with China, it is a source of inspiration. It demonstrates that innovative, asymmetric solutions are possible, that smaller states are not helpless. They too can leverage technology to assert their sovereign rights. We may see a trend: more indigenous defense development, more focus on surveillance and information warfare capabilities across the region. This could be a significant shift. This development could, paradoxically, lead to both stabilization and escalation risks. On one hand, enhanced transparency from systems like Bantay Dagat could deter grey zone activities. It could make aggressive actions more difficult to hide, leading to greater caution. On the other hand, it might spur a technological arms race as nations seek to counter these new surveillance capabilities or develop their own. The key will be how these technologies are deployed and how they are integrated into broader diplomatic and security frameworks. The Bantay Dagat also has implications for existing alliances. For the Philippines, it strengthens its position as a credible security partner, particularly with allies like the United States, Australia, and Japan. It shows Manila is investing in its own defense. It is contributing to regional maritime security. Speculation and strategic foresight. The Bantay Dagat system, as it exists in mid-2025, is just the beginning. Its designers are already looking ahead. Future iterations will likely incorporate even more advanced artificial intelligence, allowing for greater autonomy and more sophisticated predictive analysis. We can expect enhanced sensor capabilities, longer endurance for the drones, perhaps even integration with airborne and space-based assets. The system will learn, it will adapt, it will evolve to meet new challenges, becoming an even more formidable guardian. China undoubtedly will not remain static. Its military technologists will work diligently to develop countermeasures, electronic jamming, stealthier vessels of their own, perhaps even anti-drone systems. We may see a quiet, high-tech game of cat and mouse unfold in the depths of the West Philippine Sea. China might also adapt its operational tactics, employing more subtle forms of pressure or shifting its focus to other areas where surveillance is less pervasive. The strategic chessboard is constantly changing. Each move invites a counter-move. The long-term impact on the regional balance of power is complex. Bantay Dagat alone will not fundamentally alter the military disparity between the Philippines and China. The Bantay Dagat system is more than just a collection of drones and software. It is a potent symbol. A symbol of Filipino ingenuity, a symbol of national resilience, a symbol of the unwavering commitment to protect the nation's sovereign rights in the vast, contested waters of the West Philippine Sea. Its development marks a significant milestone, a testament to what a determined nation can achieve. even when faced with formidable challenges. It is a source of pride and a beacon of hope for a more secure maritime future. However, technology alone is not a panacea. The Bantay Dagat is a powerful tool, but it is only one component of a comprehensive national strategy. Enduring security requires sustained political will, it requires robust diplomatic engagement, it requires strong alliances and partnerships, and it requires the continued support of the Filipino people. The defense of the nation's maritime domain is a collective responsibility, a task that demands unity and unwavering resolve from all sectors of society. Every Filipino has a role to play, by staying informed, by supporting policies that strengthen national sovereignty, by fostering a culture of maritime awareness, and by appreciating the sacrifices of those who stand guard on our seas and along our shores.